The IRP is a long-term plan by government that sets out the country's required energy mix to ensure future energy security. The document that has seen several delays must serve to balance different priorities like grid stability, cost and environmental obligations, including emission standards. The released draft document analyzes different options to close the power shortfall for the short term and the long term. Horizon 1 is for 2023 to 2030, with the focus being on stabilizing the country's electricity supply to end load shedding. Horizon 2 covers 2031 to 2050 and aims to ensure that South Africa has enough generating capacity to meet demands for the coming decades through, amongst others, combinations of nuclear power, renewables, clean coal and gas.
If the coal fleet is fixed as per the determination of the IRP to operate at 75% energy availability factor, then load shedding will be resolved immediately. So that's the one thing that I thought I should clarify. Going forward, the IRP is saying, let us extend the life of the coal fleet that can still give us longevity. Basically, these are your new build programs such as your Medupi and Kusile, fix them to operate at particular energy availability factor, and also fix some of this aging coal fleet that's giving problems, while we bring in new generation capacity to take care of the decarbonization agenda.
Some in the business sector are not happy with the draft document. Business Unity South Africa says the plan must be inclusive and place South Africa on a sustainable footing for higher levels of economic growth.
The time frame up to 2030 doesn't give us confidence because, to be frank, NECOM, electricity ministers, they say a different thing in terms of when load shedding will end, or not even end, but will be arrested, at least in terms of the higher stages. That it will end in 2027, we need to know the basis of that, because if the assumption is that by delaying decommissioning, you're going to arrest load shedding, that doesn't make sense, because we are in a load shedding or in an electricity crisis because many of the power plants cannot perform.
Small businesses have encouraged those in the sector to also add their voices. They want an end to load shedding, describing the past year as difficult for the township economy.
For us as small businesses, energy crisis like electricity has become a pandemic. So if you look at how the country was fast in solving the issue of pandemic, it should be an issue of the same approach in terms of the electricity, because we are dying now as small businesses. If you look at it now, we on February also will be having what you call a township spaza shop in Daba. Now we also will be discussing the same things.
The IRP 2023 further warns that an analysis of the period until 2030 highlights a concerning electricity supply deficit, with those in the sector and the public urged to make their inputs ahead of the deadline of the 23rd of February 2024. Katlego Logodi, SABC News, Johannesburg.